Not because it's loud, but because it never breaks. You've probably met someone like this. Every day, same time, same work, no excuses. While the rest of the world is renegotiating with themselves on a Wednesday morning, this person is already done. People don't call them dedicated, they call them different. Today, I'm going to show you the exact framework behind that kind of discipline, and it comes from a place most people would never think to look. But I need to warn you up front, this isn't a habit hack or a morning routine tip. It's a full identity restructure, and it requires you to bury a version of yourself you've been protecting for years. Before we go any further, subscribe, hit like, and drop a comment below telling me the one behavior you most want to make automatic. I read every single one. Let's get into it. Meet someone I'll call Marco. Smart, ambitious, great job. One problem, couldn't make anything stick. Gym, dropped after 6 weeks. Journaling, 3 days. Waking up early, lasted until the first Friday. The cycle never changed. Monday, fire. Wednesday, negotiation. Friday, surrender. Sunday, promises to try again. He went through every productivity system available. Tracking apps, accountability groups, reward charts. Nothing helped. Not because Marco was weak, but because he was fighting the wrong enemy. He thought the problem was motivation. It wasn't. The real problem was architecture. Specifically, the architecture of how the brain files commitment. When he finally understood how the oldest continuous meditation communities on how to solve this exact problem, everything changed. For centuries, certain monastic communities have maintained daily practice without a single misday. Not for years, for generations. Rain, famine, conflict, illness, practice continues. The bell rings, people rise. These communities don't talk about willpower. They talk about something far more fundamental, the elimination of choice. Here's the core insight. Your brain sorts every commitment into one of two files. File 1, reversible. These become ongoing negotiations. You revisit them every day, weighing the cost of doing them against the cost of skipping. Most habits are real. That's why they die. File 2, irreversible. These simply happen. There's no daily vote. The decision was made once, witnessed by others, and embedded into who you are. The question of whether to do it doesn't come up, any more than you debate whether to keep your name. The practice of continuous action without gap, what certain traditions call seamless continuity, is built entirely on moving behavior from file 1 to file 2. The mechanism? Public identity declaration. When Marco finally understood this, he didn't write a private goal. He wrote a public statement. I am someone who meditates for 20 minutes every morning at 5 a.m. for 90 days straight. He signed it, posted it, told everyone in his life. His girlfriend thought he was being dramatic. His coworkers said he was overthinking it. He said perfect. Every person who heard it became a reason not to quit. Research in social psychology has confirmed what these communities knew intuitively. When we attach behavior to public identity, primitive threat detection systems in the brain activate. Our ancestors who violated social commitments faced real consequences. Exclusion, loss of status, danger. The brain still responds to reputational risk as it sustains your survival level. That's not above, that's the level. Even with a public declaration, Marco still struggles in his first day. 5 a.m. alarm. Brain fires up the familiar script. You're exhausted, one day won't matter. You can double up tomorrow. Declaration hadn't silenced the voice. Quitting now and posting publicly. It meant looking at his girlfriend and admitting he played by day 3. The discomfort of quitting had become greater than the discomfort of continuing. But there was still a war happening every morning. He'd fixed the weather, but he hadn't yet fixed the weather. Here's what most people don't realize. Every time you decide when to do something, you spend mental energy that should have gone into actually doing it. Morning people debate whether to go before or after breakfast. Night owls wonder if they're too tired. Everyone wastes fuel on a decision that could be made once and never revisited. Marco chose 5 a.m., not because he loved early mornings. He chose it because the world was quiet at 5 a.m. No messages, no notifications, no interruptions, no easy outs. The time wasn't optimized for comfort. It was chosen to eliminate friction. The first week was miserable. His body resisted. That's expected. You're asking a system that runs on pattern recognition to build a new pattern from scratch. It pushes back. By week 2, something shifted. He started waking naturally a couple of minutes before the alarm. His nervous system had begun preparing for what was coming. By day 14, his feet were on the floor before his mind had formed a complete thought. The body had begun moving the brain. This is what fixed scheduling actually does. It removes time as a variable. When the schedule changes daily, your brain makes a new decision every time. When it's locked, there's nothing to argue with. The constant can't be negotiated. But Marco hit a new problem. His when was locked, but his what was chaos. Some mornings he meditated. Some mornings he read. Some mornings he did push-ups. His mind had found a new point of negotiation. Instead of asking when, it was now asking which one today. And every small decision was a crack. What kind of movement? Each micro-choice invited the old patterns back in. The solution, drawn from the oldest discipline traditions, was deceptively simple and genuinely uncomfortable. Do the exact same thing, in the exact same order, every single day. Marco locked it in. 20 push-ups, 10 minutes of meditation, 10 minutes of reading, same order, same time, same everything. His friend said he was becoming robotic. He said good. Week 3, his brain screamed for variation. This is boring. You're not a machine, mix it up. Week 4, the resistance started to quiet. By week 6, he was halfway through his push-ups. Where he consciously registered when he started. This is what people fundamentally misunderstand about consistency. It's not about willpower holding indefinitely. It's about repetition until willpower is no longer required. Neuroscience backs this up. When a behavior is repeated in the same context over approximately 60 to 70 days, the brain's automated processing sectors gradually take over. The behavior stops being a decision and becomes a function, like breathing, like walking. It just runs. You're not trying to be disciplined forever. You're doing enough reps to hand the behavior off to a part of your brain that doesn't negotiate. Day 35, Marco got sick. Day 40, he was traveling for work. And here's where everyone falls apart. The story your brain tells sounds reasonable. I'm sick, rest is productive. I'm traveling, conditions aren't right. I'll pick it back up when things settle. This is the all or nothing trap, and it has ended more long-term habits than laziness ever has. The truth is this, gap in practice is not a rest, it's a reset. During drought conditions, it might slow to a trickle, but it's still moving, still carving the channel, still a river. The moment it stops completely, it doesn't pause. It begins to disappear. The channel fills, the banks collapse. What remains is just a place where water used to be. Your discipline works the same way. The day Marco was sick, he did 5 push-ups, 3 minutes of breathing, and 1 paragraph of reading. Nothing was ideal. Everything counted. At the airport on day 40, he found a quiet corner and did his push-ups. He meditated in the car. He read on the plane. Co-workers watched with the particular discomfort people feel when someone near them is operating at a different standard. That discomfort, Marco had learned, was a calibration signal, not a reason to stop. Here's the trap no one prepares for. Life will interrupt your practice. The question isn't whether obstacles will appear. The question is whether you've already decided what to do when they do. When the disruption arrives, you're under stress. Your cortisol is elevated. Your decision-making is compromised. That's exactly when the brain reaches for the path of least resistance. If you haven't pre-decided your response, you'll improvise. An improvised responses under stress almost always favor comfort. The solution is what we might call contingency scripting, writing out your responses to obstacles before they happen, so that when they arrive, you're not making a decision, you're following a plan. Marco wrote out every obstacle that had broken his consistency in the past. Sick, minimum viable version, 5 reps, 2 minutes, 1 page. Traveling, practice before leaving for the airport. Late night or early meeting, cut duration, maintain sequence. Guests staying over, bathroom, quiet, early. For every disruption, a pre-written response. No thinking required in the moment, just execution. Behavioral research confirmed this is one of the most powerful tools available for maintaining long-term behavior. When the decision is made in advance, the brain's executive function doesn't get depleted at the critical moment. It's already been used, wisely, and calm stead. And what remains is simply carrying out a plan. Day 90. Marco completed his period. 3 months without a single gap. But something deeper had happened that couldn't be measured in streaks. He wasn't someone who had successfully completed a habit challenge. He was a different person. His colleagues commented that he seemed more grounded, more reliable. But there was something about the way he carried himself that felt decided. One friend told him his discipline was unsettling. Marco's answer: good. Here's the thing no one tells you about this level of consistency. When you operate this way, you become evidence. Evidence that the things people say can't be maintained can be. That the excuses they've accepted about themselves aren't universal laws. That's uncomfortable for people. So they'll call you obsessive. They'll say you need balance. They'll suggest you're missing out. What they mean is, your consistency is a mirror, and I don't like what I see. You're not doing this for their comfort. You're doing it for your transformation. Here's what the full system looks like. Step 1, public identity declaration. Write exactly who you are becoming. Make it specific. Attach a timeline, sign it, tell people. The social pressure isn't a crutch, it's a feature. Step 2, fix time, non-negotiable. Choose a time and make it permanent. Not usually this time, always this time. Remove the daily decision entirely. Step 3, identical practice sequence. Lock in exactly what you do, in exactly what order. No variations, no improvisation. Same reps, same order, same timer, until it's automatic. Step 4, contingency scripts. Write your obstacle responses before the obstacles arrive. For every disruption you can anticipate, have a minimum viable version of your practice that preserves continuity without requiring perfection. This isn't about building habits, it's about engineering an identity. You're not someone who tries to be consistent. You're someone for whom inconsistency has become structurally uncomfortable. When that transformation is complete, people will look at how you operate and think, I don't know how they do it. And the honest answer is, you don't do it anymore, you just are it. If this reframed how you think about discipline and identity, subscribe and turn on notifications. I'm going to keep going deeper into the frameworks that actually change behavior at the root level. And tell me in the comments, what's your public declaration going to be? The consistency that makes others uncomfortable is the only consistency worth building. Thanks for watching.